Hi there, Aries. How are you guys doing? I really hope that this reading finds you well. Welcome to your reading. Back with me again, Anisa from the Inner Stereo. For those of you already know my channel, hello, and for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. So before we start the reading, for those of you already know this channel, this is going to be a relationship spread, meaning that you could always apply this with anyone in your life. It could be with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, exes, crushes, fiance, family members, anyone. I'm basically just going to be picking up your relationship energy in general, all right? And don't forget to also check your sun, moon, or Venus sign, because for me personally, I realize that with my readings, I resonate much more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign, but probably because my Venus is in the 8th house, not with my North Node there. I don't really know, but if it doesn't resonate, then it just doesn't resonate, all right? There are so many amazing, talented tarot readers out there for you to just click and watch, okay? So, let's talk now, Aries. What's your overall energy for the now? You have the High Priestess, you have the Wheel of the Year, and then you also have the Five of Cups. What's the overall challenge? You have the Three of Pentacles, and then you also have the Two of Swords. So, Major Arcana, as a lot of tarot readers would agree with me, would talk about divine interventions, and especially when you have two in your overall energy. So so we could conclude that in the 1 to 2 weeks from now, there's like a lot of divine intervention that is being applied in here that is going to push you to have like a certain type of energy. And one of that beings is becoming the High Priestess. So High Priestess is distancing yourself away from the situations altogether so you could see in a very objective view. Was it my fault or was it their fault? So it's like a very objective type of view, right? And why is the universe is forcing you to become the High Priestess is that to avoid the feeling of the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is a card, especially in this particular deck of mine, where we can see this person is kind of like quite freaking out. Oh my God, have I done something wrong? Did I lose it? Did I fuck it up? I'm sorry for the language, but it is what I'm sensing from this card. And the point is that to not be so overly reactive and to not just be like, oh, and then you start doing something, but instead of doing that, because we're fire signs, right? I'm a Sagittarius too, and you guys are Aries. And every time we have the tendencies to react on things based off of our initial reactions to things. And the best ways to deal with this type of energy, especially in 1 to 2 weeks to come, is just to, if there's one trigger, take a deep breath in for about 5 seconds and then see things in an objective type of point of view. But the plus side when it comes to this is that you have the Wheel of the Year here at the center of your reading, and it's a Jupiter rule type of card. So you guys are going to be expanding in other areas of your life too. So your luck is actually here. What's the overall challenge is you have the Three of Pentacles, and then you also have the Two of Swords. So Two of Swords, we're talking about a decision that has to be made. It's a very 50-50 type of situations. Not really quite certain which path do you want to choose, or do they want to choose, because this is the overall challenge. I cannot really pinpoint who is doing what to who. And the second challenge is you have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles, especially when it comes to the overall challenge, I would say that there's like a little bit of an love language differences going on here. What you're expecting them to do is contrary to what they're doing to you, and vice versa. Three of Pentacles could also indicate one person not willing to put in the effort to reconcile or to collaborate into a mutual goal together. So in the past, this person was the Princess of Pentacles and also the King of Chalices. But for some reasons, I feel like either a very Mars or very Uranian type of energy going on, where you kind of like want to rebels into things. And you guys are the Six of Pentacles in reverse, meaning that you're no longer wanting to give them something because you're trying to make a point. And you're doing it in a non-Aries way, because Aries are known to be very direct and confrontational and what have you. But I feel like by you pulling back all of your attentions, all of your generosity and everything like that, you're trying to make a point with them about something that you don't really like about them. Because you guys have the Five of Wands. So Five of Wands is like a really show. It's like a little bit of a show of power type of stuff. Yes. And then you're dealing with somebody who is the Princess of Pentacles. So they had something prepared. They were preparing something nice and to you, but they didn't really say it out loud, because next to it you have the King of Chalices, and the King of Chalices, especially in this particular deck of mine, has a very aloof type of energy where he's like, okay, I see what you're doing. I know what you want, but I'm just going to keep it smiling right over there. I'm not going to give it because I'm still in my decision-making process. So they plan something, but also at the same time, as you can see, this Princess of Pentacles is kind of like calculating her pennies, calculating her dollars and everything like that. So they're also like, okay, so realistically, if I were to be giving it into Aries, what it is that I got, do I have gains or do I have losses? So they're kind of like pretty calculative in a sense. And they're also somebody who moves in very, very slow snail pace because of that, you know, that pros and cons before I do something type of energy that I feel from them. So in the now, they have the Queen of Pentacles and also the Six of Swords. From your side, you have the Queen of Swords, the Strength card in reverse, and then the Two of Wands. So again, guys, if you guys are dealing with one person, be very, very aware of not reacting so impulsively because it might happen in the now. And it could literally means that you're going to be blowing up at somebody in their face. Or it could be that you could end up doing petty things that you're going to kind of like regret later on. I mean, if you don't want them, just don't be petty. You know what I mean? Like, just let it go. You have nothing to gain when you're doing that petty stuff. Not that I'm pointing fingers, but just be aware of that type of energy that is going on in the now that is just going to make you feel very, very triggered. Okay? Because if you're trying to get a reactions out of them, it's not going to happen because this person is the Queen of Pentacles. See, the Queen of Pentacles, especially in this particular deck of mine, is a very, very showy type of card. It feels the same way as this King of Chalices in a way that they seem very, very aloof, got everything under control. You try to anger them, you try to make them jealous, or you're trying to get something out of them, it won't happen. Not in this way. They know what you want, but they just don't want to give in. Lima kartu masa depan. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. The Moon card in reverse. But I think they're going to get their clarity, but how about you? Five of Swords. Empress card. So if you guys are only dealing with one person, this person is going to come slowly into your life, like the Six of Swords. And it's like they're popping in here and there, you know? And you kind of like want to do something with them, you know, with the Two of Wands. Building something from the ground up, share some times together, talk more often and everything like that. But again, there is this aloof, detached type of quality, and there is this non-emotionally reactive person that gets under your skin. And especially with this person, if you guys has broken up with this person, yeah? This person is the Queen of Pentacles, so they're going to be showing you how beautiful their world is without you, and probably is going to show off their dating life to get emotional reactions out of you, just to see how you would react on it, which you guys are going to get triggered. So be aware of this, yes? Don't let your emotions and your fire-ish ways get in the way, because I'm a fire sign myself, so be careful, because I know exactly how difficult it is to control this kind of reactions. Sagittarius. But be aware of this, yes? It's much more safer if you're aware of this type of thing. So in the future, this person is going to be less aloof and less attached. And they would want to have an emotional touch with you and emotional connections with you and everything like that. Like nothing happened. And you guys are like, oh, hell no. You cannot just do that and then act like nothing happened. Like, I am going to be Five of Swords. I am going to kind of like cut off this emotional things that you're demanding from me, and we have to talk. You know, because you do have like a lot of questions in your head that is being unanswered. Them too. And this is like, if you truly want this relationship to work, you really need to get down to the root of the problem. Communicate to them in a non-emperor way, in a non-pushy way, in a non-fireside way. You know, we have a tendency to be pushy about things, right? And try to be much more, you know, embracing that high priestess energy, being much more objective. Okay, being much more objective when it comes to things, and just talk things through part by part, chapters by chapters of which you feel uneasy when it comes to them. And them too. Like the mask has to fall off from their side. Your mask is starting to fall off. But their mask has to fall off. Because if not, even though, you know, things are going to get all right, but you guys are the empress though, meaning that if you guys are single from this person, you're going to be attracting like a lot of bees, like you're going to be attracting like a lot of people. But if you still kind of like want to stick around with them, you could talk with them, but it has to go down into the root of the problem, or else both of you will still hold into this resentment. See this King of Swords. It has a book. The book has sins. Things that has not been resolved. One day I'm going to use it against you. And I'm going to stab you with my swords. And it's a vice versa type of energy. So you guys are like that. They're also like that. And then the path to a happy union is then going to be very, very difficult to walk through because of that unfinished or unresolved arguments that is not being solved. Okay, so be aware of that if you guys are only dating one person and you're still wanting to stick with this person. Okay, so that's it for your reading if you're only dating one person. What happens if you guys are dealing with one person but you're over and done and you're single and you're kind of like looking? Hindi baka mau sama si Aries. I feel like, you know, it's not a future person, but it's somebody that you, I mean, it's not going to be like a distant future, but it's going to be, I mean, if it hasn't happened now, it's going to happen like really, really soon. You've met somebody that you shared like a lot of times already with, you know, with the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is something that we built from the ground up. So there is no emotional at the beginning and everything like that. I think they were either just walked out of a relationship themselves, or they're still not over somebody and they're kind of like still have this energy of waiting around for somebody else rather than you. So like that. But I feel like in the future, this person is going to be over and done with waiting for their exes or what have you that they were dealing with, and they're going to take a giant leap of faith with you. And then the funny thing is that you guys are going to be the Empress card. So it's a very, very Venusian card from you. The past person did, you know, ignite your masculine energy, whereas this person in the future just kind of like ignites your feminine energy. Because this person will then become a masculine, so it kind of like makes you're going to be much more receptive when it comes to this new person that you're dealing with. All right, so that's that if you guys are only dating one person, and then if you're single. So now we're moving forward to two people scenarios. Right. Oh, by the way, if you're single, your ex is going to come around, but you guys are going to go over and done with them. You're the Five of Swords, I don't want you back type of energy, okay? So if you guys are dealing with two people, the past person did plan something nice to you, but you guys are like, nah, they hurt your ego so much, and you were like the Five of Wands. You were stubbornly holding on to your ego, and then you decided to no longer give your attention, your focus, your energy, or what have you to this person. Yes. And then, but for some reasons, I could see that this person is still triggering for you in some ways, like a little bit things that they're doing, their showy attitude or what have you, kind of like triggers you to be, I hate you so much, the type of energy, because you're like the Strength card in reverse. Be aware of this energy, okay? Really, be aware of this energy. It's not about you afraid of losing them. It's not about me being afraid of you losing them, but it's just, you might do really something stupid that you'd regret in 5 years from now. You'd be like, oh my God, that was so petty. That type of stuff. So just be aware of that type of energy, all right, Aries? So that is person A. And person A, you know, the person that you've been dealing with ancient times, in the future, they want to come back around with the Two of Cups. They want to share like that emotional tossing with you. They want to have a honeymoon phase in which you're no longer interested because you have the Five of Swords. So all the questions, all the trust issues, all the ego things and whatever that is, like you're just over and done with it. Like, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to see you. I don't want your energy around me and blah, blah, blah. You're just like the Five of Swords. Like, no, please just go away. That type of energy. Person B is a newer person. Somebody who you were, this person, it kind of like make you feel masculine in some ways, this person A, person B, sorry. You both were masculine. They were like the King of Chalices, so they were kind of like quite aloof, and you guys are the Emperor. You're also kind of like quite aloof with a very masculine energy type of stuff. And then now you guys are spending a lot of times together, you know, with the Two of Wands activities, talking together, trying to get to know each other very good, trying to build something from the ground up, and so on and so forth. This person, I think they were just walking away from a relationship, or they just moved to your country or to your city, or this person is trying to still kind of like forget about somebody. You do have like a little bit of a trust issues with this person, but I feel like your trust issues is much more focused on the ancient person that you're dealing with, which is person A. In the future, person B is going to get over their past person and whatever that is that they're still waiting on, and then they're going to take a giant leap of faith with you, in which I feel like with this person, you guys are going to be much more of the Emperor. So you're going to be receptive towards that energy, and you're going to be giving them like a lot of active love and services to them, because you feel like with this person, you're kind of like starting from scratch, starting from zero, and you feel like with this person, you have no trust issues because of how open the communication is, because you guys are really taking it slow right now, and you like how slow it's going because you get to know them and you get to trust them first before jumping into something with them. All right? So I think that's it from my reading for you, Aries. Thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope you guys enjoy it and find like a lot of clarity that you've been looking for. And I hope you have a really, really great week ahead. All right. Bye-bye. I love you.